What's good, everybody? Welcome into your sports betting show of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine. And the one thing that we always do, we always listen to you, our fans, our followers, our community. You've been screaming. I mean screaming for tennis content. Well, today is your day. Welcome into the Wimbledon preview episode of the Early Edge. And I've looked long and I've looked wide everywhere. And I've got the two very best in the world. And they're coming in from across the pond. Let's bring in the stars of the show. Our men's expert. Look at him below. Sean Calvert be doing our men's stuff today. Sean, hello, sir.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Are you kidding me? And then Gavin Mair. He is our women's expert. Gavin, hello.
Hi, nice to meet you all.
Oh, my goodness. I am thrilled. We are thrilled to have you as part of the SportsLine family. So let's get right into it, because this is the year's third major. And there's so many storylines surrounding both the men's side and the women's side. They didn't play this event last year because of COVID. So, Sean, take me through the men's side and give me just a few storylines that our fans at home can really sink their teeth into.
Okay, well, the main thing on the men's side this time around is that Novak Djokovic has won the French, obviously for the first time since, I think, 2016. So he's got the first two majors of the year under his belt already. If he wins Wimbledon, and he's a slightly odds-on chance to win Wimbledon, then he's going to go into the US Open with the opportunity to do something that no man has done since Rod Laver in 1969. That's win all four Grand Slams in the same year. And if he wins Wimbledon this year, he's going to tie with Nadal and Federer on 20 Grand Slams. So that's massive incentive, if he even needed it, for Novak Djokovic to come and win Wimbledon this time around. And the draw, I got to be honest, looks pretty easy for Djokovic. If a Grand Slam draw can be described as easy, on his side of the draw, I think really he's only got Tsitsipas to worry about. Everybody else, I got to tell you, I'm not keen on them. So I'm already putting Djokovic in the final already. It's just a question of who's going to get there from the other side of the draw to play it.
Wow, it's amazing. When you really look at Djokovic and Federer and Nadal, the fact they all got to 20 in the same era is nothing short of remarkable. It really is. I'm going to get back to you, Sean, with your pick in just a second. But I need to go to the women's side, because the women have all kinds of storylines going on. Gavin, talk to me.
Yes, hello. So if Sean is saying the men's side is easy, I'm afraid the women's side couldn't be further from the truth. We have Naomi Osaka, the biggest star in women's tennis at the moment. She is unable to play at the moment. She is experiencing some anxiety and depression, and she's decided, it's best not to be playing tennis at the moment. We have Serena Williams, who is also looking to break some records similar to Djokovic. She is one Grand Slam away from tying the long-held record of Margaret Court in her search to become the undisputed greatest of all time. And we have a very open competition potentially. If you look at the French Open last month, Barbara Krejcikova, the unheralded Czech, she won at odds of plus 10,000. So on any given day, maybe 20 women's players are candidates for this. So it's shaping up to be an exciting few weeks, I would say.
I just want to clarify real quick. Plus 10,000 or plus 1,000?
It was plus 10,000. Yeah, I think I said 1,000 earlier, but it's 10,000. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Good stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
Amazing. Now, these two guys, they've been calling long shots for years. I could go down the list. I don't have time. We get in and we get out. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of these tweets, guys, and I'm going to put you on the spot quickly. But because tennis is so unique, and basically the only thing you can bet on is who wins the tournament. But something that's become very, very popular is head-to-head matchups, right? Where you can bet on individual head-to-head matchups. So all these names you're getting ready to give us that you like potentially to win, what would be a number? I say minus 200. And either one of you can answer it. And if you don't feel comfortable, don't. That in a head-to-head matchup, you would feel comfortable playing, because a lot of people love to play those two to kind of get their interest up throughout the tournament. Is there a number you like? Minus 200, minus 150? Either one?
Gavin, you want to try that?
Well, yeah. I mean, with women's tennis, you could find big upsets. I was talking with a friend of mine earlier, and we were discussing maybe even the potential for Serena Williams to lose early. Like there's no certainties in women's tennis, so I think you'll find Serena very short prices to win her matches. But on any given day, I mean, you could have somebody like Alexandra Sasnovich, her first round opponent.
Right.
That would be high. That would be very high odds, but you never know. You just never
Translation
know.
is be very careful. Translation: be very careful.
Be very careful. Yeah, don't get too excited by the guaranteed winner on the women's side, because it doesn't exist.
Now, Sean, I'm assuming on the men's side, Sean, that you take Djokovic out of it, you can get some pretty good prices in head-to-head matchups, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, Grand Slams aren't generally the best places to look for good value in terms of men's betting. I think generally you only get about 25% of the underdogs win in a Grand Slam, so it's not like an ATP 250 or 500 where you do get a few upsets. Best of 5, longer formats, it really suits the better players much better, and consequently you don't get as many upsets in terms of individual matches. In terms of the outrights, I was looking at it earlier, desperately trying to find the last time there was some sort of upset in the men's singles at Wimbledon. I got to tell you, the last time that there was an unfancied, even remotely unfancied winner, you're looking at Goran Ivanisevic in 2001.
Wow.
The last time that maybe there was a really unfancied finalist, I'd go as far as Nalbandian, 2002. It just doesn't happen. The other thing that's interesting is that I found from my exhaustive research is that you have to have won a Masters 1000 to have won Wimbledon. The last guy to have won Wimbledon who hadn't already got a Masters 1000 under his belt was Richard Krajicek in 1996. So that gives you a bit of an idea of the level we're talking about.
We say on the show all the time, educate and entertain. The last 60 seconds of the show, if you're going to bet on Wimbledon, just watch this over and over and over and over. Be very careful. If things don't happen, it's not about always the bet you do make. Sometimes it's the bet you don't make at minus 600, minus 700. It's just not worth it. Sean said it. There's no value on the men's side other than maybe an outright. All right, speaking of that, we're going to give the people at home some names that if they choose to play, that they might like. Sean, let's start on the men's side with you. Give me a name and a number that you like.
Well, if you'd have asked me about 2 months ago, I could have said to you Matteo Berrettini. I was lucky enough to get him at 60, just over 60 to 1. About 2 months ago, after he did well in Madrid, got to the final there. That's on the clay. Okay, it was quick clay, but not really as suitable for his game as the grass. So I got him at 60 to 1. Looking at the odds today, he's now down to basically 10 to 1.
Wow.
So the value's gone there is probably a bit of an understatement. I'm happy with my ticket. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you to back him at 10 at 10 to 1 though, because that's just crazy. And he falls into the category of a guy that's never won a Masters. So history suggests he probably won't win, but he has got a really good draw. He's avoided Djokovic. He's in the bottom half of the draw, which is where everyone wants to be. So he has got. I'm personally pretty happy with Berrettini, but as I said, I couldn't obviously recommend him at the price he is right now because it's just way too short.
Yeah. Are you on any other player? Anybody else that you like today?
I had a couple of little speculative bets earlier on. Cilic, 150 to 1. He's in that bottom half of the draw as well. But you really are scratching around in the men's draw. As I say, upsets don't tend to happen. I mean,
what about Medvedev at 6 to 1? Do you like Medvedev 6 to 1?
Yeah, Medvedev is for me the one that stands out in terms of the one that could challenge Djokovic. I mean, looking at the draw, I expect it to be a Djokovic Medvedev final. He's playing even as we speak, actually, over in Mallorca, just honing his grass court game there because he's got the game for grass, very flat hitting. The ball will always keep very, very low. It should, in theory, be perfect for the grass. He hasn't actually transferred that into results yet, but we haven't played on grass since 2019, so a lot has changed since last time we were played a full season on grass. His game should suit it. He's got the draw, obviously being number 2 seed away from Novak Djokovic, so he should, fingers crossed, he should give you a run for your money at plus 600. But
there is a way of you can hedge a little bit, but the numbers are so small.
Yeah,
it wouldn't even really pay to hedge the one side. So you want for fun. But if you listen to Sean, the translation is it's very hard. And I would probably wait till I don't know when you could get value on Djokovic, but there's other ways. But listen to the man. This guy is dominant. He's just absolutely dominant. All right, quickly, we got to get to the women's side now. And I know there's a few more names because, as you said, Gavin, the women's side is much, much deeper. Talk to me. Give me some names. Give me some unit size that you like today.
Okay, so the head of the draw, I would say it's a name that we'll all be familiar with. That is Serena Williams. She has a great record at Wimbledon, even in these latter years of her career, where she's kind of struggling a bit with her fitness, with a bit of form as well. But in the last like 3 or 4 attempts at Wimbledon, she's at least made the final, and that is post-pregnancy as well, where her game hasn't looked, as dominant as it did in her heyday. But she is the outright favorite now at plus 600. And I think she'll take some beating, if I'm being honest. As I did kind of say earlier, like that, anybody can beat anybody on their given day in Wimbledon and in the women's game. But she is, the creme de la creme, the GOAT. So I think so.
Okay, we've got to speed the show up a little bit because we're running out of time. So give me a name, full unit, and then the other 3 names, please.
So I would have a unit there on Serena, and the other unit I would have is on Sabalenka. Sabalenka is a powerhouse. She's got the biggest game on tour probably. She hasn't shown the best form in grass so far, but if it clicks, I think she could well do the business. She has all the potential to do it. So. Plus, I think 10,000. She is plus 1,000. Sorry, she is the other name at the head of the field. I would trust. I think.
Okay, and then 3 names that kind of a half unit size, a little bit longer odds. Who do you like there?
Yeah, there's a few names I like. Karolina Mukova. She made the semi-final of the Australian Open, and she had a breakout tournament at Wimbledon 2019, making the quarterfinal. She has all the tools for grass. She has slice, power, a big serve. So I like her, and she's currently at plus 3,300. So I would keep her on your side. Belinda Bench is another one I like at the same price, plus 3,300. She's a former junior Wimbledon winner, and again a former Grand Slam semi-finalist. Made the U.S. Open semi-final in 2019. She can be quite erratic as a player, but on her day, she's another one who I can see having a big tournament. And at the start, I mentioned Krejcikova won the French Open at plus 10,000. We have a candidate there at that price in the form of Veronica Kudermetova from Russia. And she has a huge game, an absolutely huge game. Big weapons, big power, big serve. If she gets going, she could be, difficult to stop, I think, as well. So I would have a sprinkle on those last 3 players.
Oh, you said the magic word sprinkle.
I said it. Yeah, I said it. I take your thunder there.
And for those of you out there that if your book has head-to-head matchups or has where you can bet to the quarterfinals or the semifinals, watch this show back, look at the names that we gave you, and look at the names that Gavin and Sean talked about, and then plug them in accordingly. It's all about educating, taking the information, and using it to whatever your kind of bets that your book has. Hopefully that makes sense because they've given you a ton of great information right here. And we're going to come back for the U.S. Open, for the other big events. You guys keep those phones on. All right, we're up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap. Now, these are in order from the shortest to the longest odds. You heard all the information. I'm not going to try and butcher all of these names. If you're watching on YouTube, you see them on the screen. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, we will tweet out the full screen, but there's a bunch of names there, and use the information. I can't say that enough. All right, you know what happens now. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Wimbledon tickets straight to the pay window for the very first time ever for Gavin, for Sean, and of course for the jeweler who puts it all together. This is the only place. It doesn't matter the sport for your early edge. Good luck. Do you want best bets in your feed every single day? All you have to do is hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Early Edge.